Put this on the soundboard too, so trying to find exactly where it was. Welcome to the Jacob Wayne Show. I am your Jacob Wayne, and with me, as always, is the sweetie, but batteries not included, Kellen Gibbons. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yeah, trying to keep up, but I'm mostly keeping up.
Yeah.
It's getting busy.
Do you know the symptoms of a deviated septum?
No.
I'm wondering if I have one, and maybe I'm getting the term wrong, but it's like where you got something weird in your nose, and it's like there's a blockage or some bullshit like that, like too much cartilage or something.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I drink too much. Maybe it's that, but I feel like my nose is just eternally stuffy. And like, I don't know. That's the thing, is like I spend the mornings now just like, just trying to get nonsense out of there. But
might be the sinuses,
could
kinda...
I don't know. I've never really had an allergic reaction to any like seasonal stuff, but maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I remember my mom had to get had to get a surgery. Everything, hers was a lot worse. She is giving her like headaches and stuff, but
right.
Yeah. So,
well, and I'm definitely of the school of thought. I try not to be too much, but like, I'll admit it. There's part of me that's like, if I go into the doctor, they're going to find something, and then they're going to prescribe me something and charge me something and keep me coming in there. So I definitely try to stay out of there as much as possible. But, I've seen some people that get a little ridiculous with it, like they break a finger or something and they don't go in, or sorry folks, I got to keep my phone on for this particular recording, so that's going to be coming through. But I think in an interview on Your Mom's House that one of those Juggalo guys, the Insane Clown Posse, one of him just like, he like broke his arm, and he didn't go to the hospital. He just kind of like sat around dealing with it, and it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So like, I'm not on that level at all.
Yeah.
There's another dude actually from that world of podcasts, Josh Potter. He has like a cyst on his back, and I'm just like, buddy, we want to have you around.
Yeah.
Like, get it taken care of. That looks nasty. And they even, did a little content cleanup with Dr. Drew and stuff. It's actually really gross, but interesting.
Huh.
And but yeah, Josh Potter, the Josh Potter Show, that was the podcast that started right when we did.
Yeah.
But they have more episodes than us because they've been more consistent. But then again, larger viewership, maybe it actually sustains them a little bit.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I always think about it when I get into this podcast, is like, ooh, my voice is good today. And then other times I'm like, how's it going? So working on it, trying to have a delicious voice for all of you. But what are you sipping on?
Oh, something tasty. This is from Poppin' Bottle.
Poppin' Bottle, huh?
Yeah, it's a Thai tea almond latte. So they're like
Thai teas.
Yeah, plant powered, no caffeine, no dairy, which I don't need, but it is really good. So almond milk, dates, annatto, black tea, Himalayan salt, vanilla, all kinds of stuff. Pretty tasty.
How's that go through you?
What?
How's that go through you?
It's just a little tiny guy.
Sometimes those Thai teas, they really churn things up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it is a lot of.
not in a bad way.
The ones that get the restaurants have a ton of like condensed milk in them, so a whole bunch of sugar and dairy. I can see that one, but this
Perhaps
one's had a
that's all
lot
it
less
is.
sugar and dairy. Yeah,
All
it's
right.
good.
Any new interesting food adventures?
Yeah, there's a new brick and mortar place here in Logan. It's right next door to KSM now. They used to be in a food truck on the other side of KSM, but they moved into the building that got vacant right next door. Uh, and
Where
so
Happy
it's
Sushi used to be.
yeah, way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was still Happy Sushi,
So do
but
I.
this place might be my favorite thing it's been since then.
You
It's
said brick and mortar?
no, it's a just say like they moved from a food truck into a brick and mortar location.
Okay. Okay. I was like, huh?
It's called Cisa's Brazilian Kitchen. So yeah,
Okay.
I went over and got some steak. It was like just like some thin grilled steak with some onions, had some rice and some beans, and man, the rice was like amazing, so good. And the
Yeah.
beans had a little sausage in them. They were like not just refried. There was their little take on it. Oh, it was so good. I'm
So
excited
is
to go back.
it like that Brazilian grill a little bit, or kind of just more traditional like plates
More
of
like the
food?
traditional plates: chicken, steak, different ways, lots of grilling.
Hmm.
They have a special. I saw a picture of the Thursday special. I think is a Brazilian pot roast, and it looked amazing. So I'm gonna have to get there
Yeah.
and have that. They have the little dough pockets, pepitas or whatever they're called,
Nice.
pastillos, something like that. Yeah, it's
Friend of the
delicious.
show, Michael Neal. He was our first guest, I believe.
Yeah,
He recently spent some time down in Brazil, and that was part of what he discussed with us on his visit to our show. We'll have him back at some point just to kind of do regular show stuff.
yeah,
But he posted about a Brazilian dish, so I figure that kind of goes with this.
yeah.
It's a feijoada.
Uh-huh.
Feijoada. It's Feijoada. It is a black bean stew served over rice with couve, collard greens, or kale, and churrasco, straight grilling. Staples of Brazilian
Oh,
cuisine.
oh
And
boy.
I wonder, is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
look at
go.
that. Oh boy.
Ooh, ooh. Yep. So shout
Yeah,
out to Michael Neal for posting that. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I don't know if he can make it, but hopefully he can, and he makes it for my belly.
yeah. It looks delicious. Oof.
Yeah. As far as I go, nothing really interesting in the food department. Kind of the same old. So we'll just
Or
move right along and get into music. So, as far as your personal musical adventures, anything new coming out? Something coming up? Dates
oh
people need to know?
yeah, well, I am heading into the studio with my friend Rachel. She used to be in Hard Case. I don't know if I've ever discussed that band on the podcast, but I think you've talked to you about it at least. Used to be like a classic rock, a little tiny, just a little bit of country, but mostly classic rock cover band. And yeah, Rachel was the singer in that, and we had a few originals, so we're finally getting those laid down. So that's
Great.
going to be coming down the pipe. And I wrote a few of them with her, and then a few of them are just hers, and I'm helping her just produce the whole thing. So it'll be a good time.
You're kind of dipping your toes into that production stuff a little bit more.
Yeah, I've been doing it. I'm doing it for a few people. I got another guy that I've been helping out doing the same thing. Just kind of, we get together, plan out the song, go in the studio, and I just record all the instruments except drums.
Okay. And yeah, I suppose that's just all leading towards the awesome solo record you're going to put out pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
someday soon.
Yeah. It's always good to have your ear on that stuff. Like, that is part of the the fun and also the issue with recording at home with Gamma Pause. We can really experiment and learn a lot of stuff, but sometimes you want another pair of ears in there, and it's like not me or Shocky's particular bias towards any one thing. It's just like, yeah, get somebody in here just like, no, I'm just trying to make sure this song slaps, like not getting too deep into it. So I don't know. We'll have to have you come down for that sometime. But we're trying to get into the zone now of releasing like a song a month.
Oh yeah.
Kind of the way streaming and all that seems to be going these days is just random singles. And then what I noticed with a lot of artists lately, at least on Spotify, I don't know if it's the same for other streaming services, but they release a single, right? And it's kind of like their announcement. They're like, we got a new album coming out, new tour coming out. Here's our first single. Then a couple weeks later, they release a second single, and that's released as a single, but on track number 2 is the first single they released. And then a couple weeks later, they release a third song, and then below that is the second and the first one. And then eventually the whole thing just comes out. And so I don't know if they use the same code for the song. Like, so basically any listens that song gets, whether it's from the first single, the second, the third, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how it works or whatever. But I was reading something about it, and they were saying that that increases your chances of getting on certain playlists, which is like the best way to get some money coming in.
True.
And yeah, I don't know. And as you know, I go really fast with stuff. I think it was just I've been trained to be that way with Nadia Pero and the way Fakoshka recorded stuff. And you know, Shockey likes to take his time, be a little more meticulous. And so our one EP was taking a little longer than I would like, but might be a standard amount of time for a lot of people. And I'm just kind of like, we got to get it out there. So kind of figured, we'll do this one song at a time and then slowly build it like that. Like release the like 2 EPs at the same time, but it's just whatever one we're writing for.
There you go. That's good. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. And, you know, more artwork, more excuses to just remind people that you're actually a musician that does things. So we are in the future. And so trying new future things, I guess.
Indeed.
Well, and, you know, and we're not big enough to like say anything. Like, personally, I don't think Joe Rogan needs to be canceled, even though he's an ass. We discussed that in the last episode. But we're not big as Neil Young, even though I think Spotify is perhaps one of the worst of the streaming services as far as the way they treat and interact with their artists. But
I don't think any of them are good. None of them are good.
Yeah, but we're
that's
I
how
certainly
people
like them as a listener.
Well, that's how
I like to have a vinyl collection, and then it's just like my streaming is for trying stuff out that I was like never going to try out if I had to pay for it. So, and sometimes you find stuff and then you end up buying the vinyl. Yeah. But it's kind of a mixed bag.
And it's Facebook, you know, Facebook lured us all into getting on it, and it is like it is a good service as much as I know like it's cool like to be able to listen to music.
The mark of the beast.
But yeah, the artists ain't seen enough of it. So
yes.
So I've been slowly trying to sneak in my new soundboard noises.
I thought I heard a few.
Yeah, that is an Orson Welles yes. Like not an actual Orson Welles yes. It was the guy that did a really awesome Orson Welles on the show The Critic.
Yeah.
And he also did the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain.
Oh yeah.
So
yes.
It's one of my favorite yeses ever. It's like delectable, yes. But and then Spotify.
666, the mark of the beast.
That's oh God, I can like see it in my head. I can't think of the name of it.
Yes.
That's a Morpheus, yes. It's a little too quiet because it's over the phone. But
China.
And have that in there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So as far as music releases go, let's check this out. Korn released a new record. Actually seemed like they put a little more effort into this one than their last few. And all I will say about that is it's pretty catchy, but they've gotten really into kind of a generic formula thing. Like, and you know, I can already hear like the snotty, like, weren't they always like that? And just like, no, not really. They used to be like drug addicts and meth heads, and they try things. And there was a lot of like hip hop and effects experimentation on Follow the Leader. And then the next one was a little more dark and stompy. And then the next one is a little more operatic. Like there was these themes to each new release that was like, oh, that's fun. But what's kind of interesting about them is that they do kind of wear whatever they're going to do next on their shoulder. They're not very mysterious or anything about that.
Yeah.
Like they'll just be like, oh, this next one's gonna us mixed with like dubstep stuff. And you're like, okay, cool. So to me, as a fan that's kind of like gone away from them more as the years go on, they keep releasing stuff that has that same thing. Like they're not experimenting as much as they used to. It's kind of like, nope, we just do really solid 7-string heaviness, little dubsteppy electronica noises. Jonathan Davis does this thing, clickety clack on the bass, great drumming. And it's like, that's fine and everything, because I think over their career, people were like, you got to be heavy again. When are you going to be heavy again? Just get heavy again. And I don't think that a lot of people realize that it's not the actual sound of the guitar that makes the music they're hearing heavy. It's the fact that they were teenagers and this singer was on meth freaking out about all the sexual abuse he suffered and bullying he suffered. And so he's screaming his head off, and it's like recorded to tape and really raw, and that's the heaviness. And it's just like, I wish, and then Korn came back and tried to record the tape again with Ross Robinson, the producer who did the first two records, and it was disingenuous because they were old. Like, he's not as fucked up anymore, and he's not on meth, you know, and all that stuff. And we've discussed that before. But anyway, like the new record, what I find fun is that during COVID, they had this like live concert on top of a skyscraper in like LA. And that was kind of like, we can't go on tour, so we're going to just do this big live event. And they went back into their catalog and found some obscure songs that they hadn't played in a while. And so what's interesting about this new record is I feel like I can hear what they've been up to lately influencing the record. Like they had a really successful tour with Alice in Chains. So I hear a little bit of Alice in Chains influence as far as like notes and the melodies that they picked. And then some of the guitar effects that they brought back, it's like, oh, you were playing that song Justin from Follow the Leader, and that was a really cool effect, and you played it live again after years and was like, hey, that effect is actually pretty fun. So they like, I think they kind of used it twice, like just the effect. And I was like, that's, so it was a little more fun in that way. I think melodically it's a lot more interesting than anything they've done in a while. And but yeah, it's still Korn, still popcorn. But I'll try to burn through a bunch real quick here as well, as I was looking at my new releases on my Spotify.
666, the mark of the beast.
There's a new Red Hot Chili Peppers song that was really mediocre, but it is good to have their guitar player back, because anytime he comes in with his thing, it kind of elevates it a little bit. Remco Hendrix, this is that really groovy bass player you may or may not have seen online, but he released something, I guess. I haven't heard it yet. The Grey Boy All-Stars released I've Got Reasons. I haven't heard that yet.
Me neither. I didn't hear about that. That's nice.
I don't know if, let's check real quick.
Spotify
it's just a song. Well, one thing I noticed about Spotify
666, the mark of the beast.
is that they sometimes they put the new releases up for me, and I'm like, oh, there they are, and then sometimes it's just not there, and I'm like, why?
Well,
Why are you suggesting
know.
rock albums from 1995? I want to check out the new releases.
Or no, they dropped me like a push notification, like a thing in the top of my phone that was like, "Hey, Galactic is playing a live show in like Philadelphia." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
thanks."
So anyway, I'll keep burning through this list. There's a new release by Author and Punisher. Did I ever show you the video of who they are or who that is?
It does sound familiar.
That was the dude who was like, let's actually read his bio a little bit real quick. He was the mechanical engineer who left from native New Hampshire to San Diego. And so he would build all those custom machines and does like kind of that grindy electronic stuff.
Oh yeah, industrial.
And he has like his
with real stuff. Yeah.
It's like yeah. So I threw on one of those while I was getting information together for this podcast, and I was like, I'm kind of excited to listen to that. So that came out.
Nice.
Some new release from Cowboy Junkies. I love them. And
nice.
It was actually Devin Townsend that taught me about Cowboy Junkies. He got really into like their atmospheric reverby sound. Had a big influence on him, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a new track from Loathe and Sleep Token, like a collaboration. That's another new thing I've noticed. Artists releasing a song together.
Big collabing. Yep.
A new track by Lustmord and Boren and their Club of Gore. Speaking of which, if you want to have a really sexy, moody evening, like light a candle and just like lay in a tub and like rub your nips a little bit, throw on Boren and their Club of Gore. It's like that really slinky, simple, dark alleyway jazz. Like not even really jazz. It's too simple to be jazz, but it's just like got that kind of tonology to it. And you know, you can just be in that tub and be like,
naughty jungle of love.
And that's all I got as far as new releases. So there's a lot of stuff to listen to and a lot of stuff I haven't heard yet. What about you? Anything on the musical news front or new releases?
Well, it's not new release, but it's news to me, so I got to shout it out.
Sure.
It was Judah Hip's I don't know how to say her name. Judah Hip's birthday, and I was like, "Who's this?"
Yeah.
So she was like this German pianist that got brought over by this dude, and she kind of was starting to get successful here.
Let's stop right there.
What?
Brought over by this dude? What's that mean? Like she was a mail order bride, producer?
Producer. Like went to Germany, heard her, was like, you should come to America. She was like, okay, cool.
Okay.
This is like when Thelonious Monk, Miles Davis were on the scene, you know? So she went to New York and started playing. She played in clubs for a little bit. And she recorded this album, Judah Hip, with Zoot Sims, who's an awesome player. She ended up quitting music because that dude was trying to get her to like do his songs and kind of coming on to her, and she was just like rejecting him. And so
what the hell is even that?
So she kind of retired from music, and he blacklisted her basically. She started working in a factory, and then her album got like huge in Japan, which jazzes tend to do. And then so they finally found her like 2 years before she died, and like, hey, here's like $60,000 in royalties. But then she died a couple of years later. But the album, Judah Hip with Zoot Sims.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
Judah Hip with Zoot Sims. That album is apparently just like one of the best albums of all time.
You're going to have to link that to me because sometimes I forget these names. But Judah Hip
with Zoot Sims.
With
like
Zoot
another
Sims.
Dude. Yeah, that's it.
When they brought her that money, though, I bet you this was her response.
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
That's right.
Nice.
But I mean, like, why couldn't anybody go to that dude who was like trying to get her to sing his songs and just be like,
Daddy, chill.
Calm down.
well, hell yeah. I like those little discoveries like that.
Yeah. The last one, I had a similar thing with Connie Converse I've mentioned before. And that's just like, oh man, totally got forgotten by like mainstream music, but some good stuff.
It wasn't because
I'm Cuban, B. Yes, Cuban B.
it wasn't because he was Cuban, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, with that, let's get into movies a little bit. Watched any new movies on your end? Stuff that really stuck out, worth mentioning?
I did watch the new Encanto, that new Disney Plus movie. That one was really good. I
I
enjoyed
haven't
it.
seen it. One of
Yeah.
the best, or just like, yeah, it's good.
I dug it. I think, but I don't know, man. Those are so hard. They're all pretty dang good, you know. I can't.
Yeah.
At this point, every time I watch them, I'm like, yeah, that's really good.
And they're very tender and sweet. So I tend to like more fucked up dark stuff. So I tend to like not get to them. And then eventually I watch them and I'm like, it's good. It's like it's not
It's
too
one of those-
schmaltzy. It's like they do a pretty good job.
Yeah, that one was fun. And yeah, the song that everybody talks about that's like an earworm is definitely an earworm. Every time. Yeah, now every time somebody says the name of the song, it starts playing in my head. It is true.
What's the name of it? Is it just Encanto?
It's we don't talk about Bruno. I don't know if you've seen
Yeah, I
people
was gonna
say it.
say. I've just heard. I remember that there was a name,
Yep.
and that's like apparently doing really well on like the radio or however you tell a song is doing well these days.
Yep.
So,
Well,
well, there you go. Well, I'm gonna read this list. I watched a bunch of movies, but nothing. I can't remember if I discussed some last time or have before. So it's like whatever. We'll just kind of wipe that slate clean for this show because it was all classics. It was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Braveheart, Interview with the Vampire. But I did watch some new ones, and one of them is on the list for Best Picture. They just announced the Oscar nominations. And so I'm going to list this, and you tell me if you've seen it. Just a quick yes or no. All right.
okay.
Belfast.
Nope.
Coda.
Nope.
Don't Look Up.
Nope.
Drive My Car.
Nope.
Dune.
Nope.
King Richard.
Nope.
Licorice Pizza.
No.
Nightmare Alley.
Nope.
The Power of the Dog.
Nope.
West Side Story, the new one. Spielberg. So you have not seen any of these.
No. No.
I believe that the Oscars are on March 27th. How realistic do you think it is to actually catch up on this list a little bit?
By the 27th, that's a lot of movies. Maybe.
Because I had two thoughts. I could either give you a watching assignment for the week, which is maybe like one or two of these, or I just have my buddy Michael Valentine on, who's probably already watched all of these 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And then we just have an Oscar episode. Because
I could try to catch up.
Yeah. So why don't you start with one that I watched? I haven't seen a lot of these either. And some of them, I mean, you'd have to go to the theater, and I'll be honest, that it hasn't happened for me yet since COVID.
No.
I keep almost doing it, like a new Spider-Man. That's a cultural event. I should see it. And then I'm like, Marvel movie, whatever. I'll catch it later. Then I was going to go see the new Jackass, which I might still do. But then I was like, I got to save money for going to Utah, which I'm going to be doing next week. We'll figure out how the next episode works. But And then movies I definitely would have gone and seen in the theater, like Dune or Matrix Resurrections.
That was like right in it.
It
Yeah.
was on HBO. So I was like, oh, I can just stay home. And it's like, but you're supposed to see Dune on the big screen. I'm like, nah, sure. I'm sure it would be a lot cooler.
You
But
should have just sat really close to your TV.
The biggest thing I miss from the movie theater is the popcorn. I even bought some of the stuff that like makes it movie theatery. It's like Flavor All or Flavor Call or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And it's good. There's just something about it that's just like not quite the same. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to. So I think the first time I'm going to go back is the Batman, because it's Batman. It's my boy. And that's where I officially go back to the theater. So anyway, to get back on point, some of these are still in theater, but a lot of them are starting to be on streaming services. So you can see Don't Look Up and Power of the Dog on Netflix. I'm pretty sure some of these other ones are on different streaming services like Amazon. Dune might still be on HBO. I don't know if they took that down. But you haven't seen Dune yet?
No.
So your assignment, young man, is Dune and The Power of the Dog, because those are the two I watched. And then we can discuss them in our next, maybe not the next episode, but the other episode. And then, whatever you got to do to get in the mood, maybe you got to drink a little bit.
I will make this jug disappear.
But yeah, anyway, we'll discuss that, but I'll probably have to do a big Oscar-y episode with Michael, because that man can talk about movies like you wouldn't believe. And I like shitting on the Oscar nominations. Like if they're really good, it's like, yeah, it's really good, should be nominated. I get it. And I get excited when stuff I love that's unconventional, like a horror movie or sci-fi, like Dune, gets nominated.
Yeah,
because it helps when it's nominated. It's just ultimately helps more of that stuff get made if it's successful on that level. So I'm into it. It was like when Get Out by Jordan Peele got nominated, and it was like, great, some more artful, strange horror films are going to come out. And they did. And some of them sucked and some of them are really good. So I think we'll just say that that's it for movies. Any shows you've been watching, keeping up on?
Not like I've been keeping up on the Righteous Gemstones. That's the one I'm keeping up on, the new ones they've. So
have you seen the most recent?
No, not yet.
Oh man, I don't want to just go off on just a bunch of lines from that show, but like, just holy shit.
Yep.
I feel like I don't catch all of it, like, and I'm like already excited to do a rewatch of this whole thing when it's done.
I know.
And so I don't know. It's like that's the opportunities when people come visit. I'm like, oops, we got to watch the whole thing, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just down to rewatch that show. Just like as soon as I finish it, I'm like, I can watch the first season again right now. Like, totally.
Sure. There's one part where Judy's signing autographs, and then it's just like, she just writes "stay horny," and just like little dicks on it. So Righteous Gemstones has been amazing, and well, I guess we'll discuss it more when the season wraps and we've watched all of them. Did you or do you watch Ozark?
I've been wanting to start. Because I've been seeing everybody talking about it. I'm like, okay, I need to watch this.
You really should. They only have part 2 to season 4, and that's it, coming out soon, hopefully. I just binged part 1 of their last season, and it's amazing. And there's some frustrating, annoying things in it, but that's only because they made really frustrating, awesomely annoying characters from time to time.
Yeah.
So it's not a dig at the show, really. It's just like, God damn it, Wyatt, you piece of... But
It's like
yeah.
Fargo.
Yeah, it's very good. I really like the show all the way through, and hopefully they stick to landing. So yeah, you should get into that. But other than that, we've been watching Afterlife slowly. That's a Ricky Gervais show
Yeah.
about him coming to terms with losing his wife and like life and death in general. And it's very, mellow British comedy.
Nice.
And just yeah, it's a good way to cap off the evening, unless it could put you in a somber mood maybe. But like I said, I like to watch a lot of dark, fucked up stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm like, it's actually kind of
Bring
a
it on.
comforting, really sad show. I'm like, yeah, we
Nice.
should appreciate our loved ones before they're gone. Yeah. Oh, he just lost his dad. How sweet. Oops, spoiler. But you can see it coming from a mile away.
I think I already heard about it actually. So.
Oh yeah, who told you?
China.
The news. Yep.
Oh. With that, let's get into the last part of the show. You had some kind of weird newsy philosophy-y kind of thing. Which department
I don't
would
know
you
what
put it
this
underneath?
is. I guess it's a philosophy roast.
All right, let's go with that while you prep it.
What?
Preposterous.
Haberdashery.
Yes. I dare say.
Do tell.
Yes.
Quite. Think deeps.
Yes.
All right, so I don't know, maybe see if like I just think there's a really interesting dichotomy here going and through this whole thing that makes me crack up.
Okay.
I seek out a really good, truly gifted Christian healer, not looking for Reiki. I'm looking for a natural born healer that simply has the gifts, preferably Christian, as that is my belief system, and I would prefer to work with the same spirits of God. I'm a prophetic healer, so I need somebody really on top of their game that can help me through my blocks beyond my own understanding. A lot is surfacing for me currently, and I need some help sorting through and releasing it. I'm really hoping to find someone that has gifts in the Christian spiritual realm outside of using Reiki. Thank you. That's it.
Oh, yeah, there's a fair amount to unpack here, but I would recommend that this person. I think I know what her healer should be, and it's antipsychotic medication.
Yeah.
But where was this posted?
In a big Facebook group, big community I'm a part of, just posted as a post in there. So
yeah, I'm not. This is one of those things where you could get really lost in it, so I don't want to get too off on tangents. But I think our audience by now has picked up on the fact that I'm agnostic. That's not even agnostic. That's just like, we don't know enough about concepts of God or the multiverse, or is this a simulation or not, to really properly assess it. So it's kind of a waste of time as a human being to ask those questions when you really should be more down here, like doing proper studies to research it. So, for example, I'm not going to definitively say that there isn't ghosts or there isn't an afterlife. I'm not like hardcore atheist, but that being said, prove it. Otherwise, I think probably not. And, an anecdotal story about one night you spent in an abandoned hotel isn't good.
No,
it's not, can't be peer reviewed. It can't be tested. It's all that non-sciencey stuff going on there, even though that they have like little trinkets with them. That doesn't mean that they're doing proper science. So it's like, no, all that ghost stuff and Eastern healing and crystals and all that stuff, I'm highly skeptical, and I'm not saying that definitively no, those things aren't real or they don't do anything, but
placebo's powerful thing.
They are. And that's the thing, is I can't remember who said it, but it's like, what fucking works though is ibuprofen. You take 15 of those motherfuckers, it'll be your last headache. It's just like, it's the most abused drug on earth because it works.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
just like, yeah, you don't have to like, do I believe this is gonna fix my headache? Like it just kind of does it. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, shit.
Nice.
And that kind of tends to be my modus operandi with these things. It's just like, yeah, I'll try it unless it's like feels like a weird culty, you're gonna lock me in a room, steal my credit card kind of thing. But yeah, like this is a bit of a tangent with this. There's a couple tangents. One, like let's say the ghost thing, right? Which he clearly, he or is it a he or a she? Not that it really matters, but
It was a she.
all right. So she wants a Christian healer, not Reiki. If she's looking for Christian healing and working with those spirits and God, she believes in ghosts, right? That's fair to assume. I think there's a lot of interesting questions in that idea. Like, what is haunting and what is that phenomenon amongst people? Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe it's actually even deeper and interesting. Like there's like quantum theory of like universes on top of other universes, just rearranged matter. And perhaps you're getting almost like an echo of an entity that's in another universe on top of yours. Yeah, weird, freaky deaky, fun to think about pot shit.
Yeah.
But is it just like Jesus sent down my grandpa to watch me? Like, I don't think so. I think you're just telling yourself that to feel better. And same with a lot of this placebo healing and all that stuff, like homeopathic healing and all that stuff. But that is what I find hilarious, is the weird spiritual infighting of all that. Like,
exactly.
I have members of my family that believe in homeopathic healing, and that almost drives me up the wall more than their Mormonism.
But it's
like
so closely tied.
It is, and it's weird how they blend the two, because Mormons would be like, no, I thought that was weird black magic, witchcraft, pagan healing stuff. Like, how are you consolidating the two? And it's interesting. And man, I'll have to see if I can find it. It's probably gone, but I follow the ayahuasca Reddit.
Oh,
I find it's a very interesting subject, and a lot of like celebrities have talked about it in podcasts about how they've gone and done the ayahuasca ceremony. And like Neil Brennan, a famous atheist, went and did it and came back. He's like, I no longer am atheist because I did that thing. And the podcasts get a little bit of information out of them, but I get it. It's kind of a personal experience. You're not going to get all the details.
Yeah.
But man, I would love to sit down with him and be like, well, why? And explain that, because I don't know. And yeah, what a lovely comfort, because obviously the God he's talking about isn't like the judgmental Old Testament God or Allah or any of these other fucked up religions. It's just like, no, there's just a God and there's stuff after. I'm like, that sounds nice. But once again, anecdotal story on an ayahuasca trip.
Yeah.
Something tells me that you do hardcore drugs. Maybe that hardcore drug isn't the right term. Drugs that really are psychedelic and mess with your brain, maybe you're not a reliable narrator.
Possibly.
Maybe. Just saying.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Anyway, it's just that this one person in the ayahuasca thread was talking. He's like, you've all committed yourself to the demon's snake woman. The demon snake woman, she tells you lies about how it really is and tries to give you peace of mind, but it's all not truth. You need to go towards the light, towards the true light and the true God. So it's like, is this like a Christian dude who took ayahuasca and he's like, no, I danced with the snake woman in the purple dress, but no, that is not it. That's the devil. That's the deceiver on the third layer of the 7-layer realm. It's just like, I'm following all his posts and I'm just like, this motherfucker is insane. Like, clearly off on a weird, like, man, I hope somebody's keeping an eye on him kind of thing. And what was funny is that everybody in the ayahuasca thread is like counter arguing. It's like, how ridiculous. That's absurd. The lady in the purple dress would never deceive me. And it is like there's this constant entity from ayahuasca trips called like Lady Ayahuasca. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud on a podcast or she'll strike me with a purple lightning bolt or something. Ugh.
Oh, you're good.
Six,
So far.
six, six, the mark
Oh
of the beast.
no! But yeah, it's just so fucking goofy, and it's like there's never anybody in any of these that like it's just like that's silly. Nobody ever just tells these people that they're silly.
Yeah,
It's like
I need to hear it.
I bet you believed in a lot of your Disney movies when you were growing up too, that you're gonna get to meet Simba one day.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god. And what's sad is that you can see on their face how much it hurts them that you're like, really? Like, and I try hard to not have like that, oh my god, like this fucking shit again face. But like, yeah, I'm really fucking tired of superstitious, conspiratorial fucking goofballs trying to tell me how it really is. And then I'm like, dude, I'm not an expert on physics or how the world is, like the science of it all. But yeah, I do trust experts and people that dedicated their entire lives to studying things like that.
Yeah.
And I believe them more than you.
And one random
Because you're my
scientist
friend
saying
doesn't
something.
mean that, well, they'd never lie to me. Like, I'm sure I say shit all the time that I really believe that's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, we might have given an example earlier in this episode where I was like, I don't want to go to the hospital. They're gonna like give me a prescription because they want to keep me on the hook and they want to keep charging me money. That's all my feelings about it. I don't have solid evidence. That's just I'm telling you, I've seen, once again, some family members really get fucked up by going to the doctor all the time because they keep getting misprescribed and all that stuff. But that's an anecdotal example. Maybe that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But it certainly made me paranoid about it.
Oh, yeah.
I've done drugs where some really crazy shit has happened during the trip. And yeah, it has fucked with my perception of reality, but that's kind of all you do is you're just like, well, I am one brain sloshing around in a human cranium.
See, that's where
it's like, how valid could anything I say as just one person really be? It's all about scientific consensus and information.
Exactly.
How much just overwhelming evidence there is for these things.
Yeah.
So
that seems like the proper lesson learned from such things. Not, oh, God is real. Feel like, oh man, I can't trust anything.
So I guess at its core, this lady, did anybody respond to her and just say, you're silly?
I don't think
like,
anybody had responded.
Or something like it,
just like,
oh, they just didn't touch it. That's the best. That's probably for the best.
Just everybody should have laughed, reacted, and moved on.
Yeah, man. And you know, we're kind of running up on needing to be done with the episode, but that really is sad. Like that one dude who talked to us in front of Ibis that one day, like he's really lost.
Yeah.
In his own brain. And it's like, I want to help you and I want to care and I want to help fund stuff that takes care of people that are going through things like you are, but I don't want you anywhere near me.
I don't know,
because you're really unstable and I have no idea what you're gonna do next. And you know, I guess that's a weird thing too, is it's like you could say all the wild shit in the world to me and I'm not gonna freak out on you and get, you know, wildly offended. I'm just gonna get more and more annoyed with you and maybe even start arguing, which is hopeless, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna be like, dude, no. And just like, but sometimes when you have guys like that around and you're trying to, I don't know, say goodbye to some people before you leave town and he's interrupting,
I think
And you're just like,
maybe
what?
the
You're like, get the fuck out of here, dude. God. And somebody came to visit right in the middle of this dude's like rant, and he's like, well, I'll see you, Jacob. And he walks off and immediately sends me a text like, who the fuck is that asshole? And it's like, I don't know.
Why is he
I'm just trying to not be mean to him, but Jesus, like, he hijacked basically a little farewell circle, made it all about him. And that's always what it is with these people. They make it all about them.
Yeah.
I need to have healing, but not the healing you have, because that's what it is. It's this.
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
So anyway,
I want some good Christian healing. None of that Reiki bullshit.
Oh my God. It's just so fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
Quit being superstitious, people. It doesn't do you any fucking good. Have your ideas and your fun little daydreams and just like, oh, that was a fun one, and then move on.
Yeah, Tiny-bit-a-stitious.
Tiny-bit-a-stitious. Tiny-bit-a-stitious, that's the title of
There you go.
the episode. Tiny-bit-a-stitious. All right. Let's wrap up with this day in history.
All right.
And test out maybe some of these soundboard samples that I haven't used yet. And trust me, in the future, I won't constantly be using it
Right.
as I am today. I'm just excited to use it.
The big one. Today was the day that Mary, Queen of Scots, was beheaded.
Daddy, chill.
Nice.
Mary, Queen of Scots was beheaded. What was the year?
1587 at Fotheringay Castle.
Okay, cool. What else we got?
Taxi Driver had its world premiere in 1976.
Yes.
Oh yeah. In 1974, the use of Skylab, a U.S. space station, came to an end. I thought that was an Adult Swim show. James Dean's birthday.
What the hell is even that?
Lana Turner. I don't know who these
Atlanta Turner?
Lana Turner.
Lana Turner.
Lana Turner.
I think it's a singer, isn't
Sultry
it?
Hollywood glamour queen.
She was abusive to the staff.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Birth of a Nation was premiered, which I have never seen that.
China.
Then the Dawes General Allotment Act was passed, which is a whole bunch of bullshit.
Have you heard about that?
What?
What that was?
Oh yeah.
Lord knows I have.
It's not good. Not good.
All right. Well, you know what I'd say to him?
Because next time I come for you, I'm going to want some cocktail. Fruit.
Fruit.
All right. Those are all the samples I have.
Nice. You got a good
I
bunch
think
there.
I'm going to go ahead and say my two favorites right now. We might, rearrange this a little bit. I like this one.
She was abusive to the staff.
Yeah.
You can use it a lot of fun little different ways. Of course, there's
Daddy, chill.
Yeah.
which is attached to.
What the hell is even that?
I love this, but I don't know how to use it.
I'm Cuban B. Yes, Cuban B.
And, this one's just a nice little quick.
China.
It's like, I don't know who you're gonna blame for that.
China.
Yeah. Good one.
Yes, anytime we talk about Spotify.
666, the mark of the beast.
Several companies that we can use that on. It'll be nice.
This one, anytime it's a little bit sexual.
Naughty jungle of love.
Do you remember what movie this one's from?
Lord knows I have.
No. That's
like Dirty Work when Norm Macdonald's like, I haven't seen so many dead hookers in all my life.
Lord knows I have.
There's just a guy watching the whole thing like.
Damn.
I I don't know how to use this one properly, but I like it.
Because next time I come for you, I'm gonna want some cocktail. Fruit.
Yeah, who do you...
That's right! Who do you think you are? I am!
You remember that one, right?
I do recognize that. I can't remember what it's from.
It was like a bowler who like got a strike and somebody was talking shit on him. He's like, that's right.
What?
And then this one is just, it's good, but the tone.
Yes.
It's like Morpheus, yes.
So faded.
So quiet,
Yes,
yeah. And then I don't know. This one
Fine.
might have to go.
I will make this jug disappear. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So Tiny-bit-a-stitious.
Tiny-bit-a-stitious.
It was a good episode. Thanks for being here for this one.
Indeed.
We might have to maybe even sneak in another before I go to Utah on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I'll keep you posted on that. Otherwise, we might have to just take another break. But
Let's see what happened.
yep. So hell yeah, I'm excited to have a soundboard now.
Hell yeah.
I'll talk to y'all
Okay.
later.
Later.
Bye. Thank you for listening to The Jacob Wayne Show. If you would like to contact us, please write us at fakoshka@gmail.com. That is FAKOSHKA@gmail.com. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. Simply search The Jacob Wayne Show and it should pop right up. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a review and share this podcast with your friends. Please write us. It helps add content to the show and makes the show even better for you, the listener. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome to the